and welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host and best friend in the world, Angelica. Angelica, how are you?
I'm doing great today, Shannon. How are you?
I'm fine. Happy to be doing this.
As always.
Always, always. Okay, so last week, we started our first part of our exploration into fandom.
Mm-hmm. Fandom 101, Part 1.
Part 1. And this is Part 2.
Fandom 102.
Exactly. It's the advanced class. You went through the first one.
Next semester.
Here we go. So, last time we talked about how, like, fans distinguish themselves from each other, like, their fan colors and their names and all of that stuff. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about, like, advanced fandom. The kind of fandom that takes time
and money
and commitment to get closer to be the best fan for your idol.
To truly be your number one fan.
Exactly. So let's start with some official business. So there isn't most groups that have the fans to do so have an official fan club. Mm-hmm. These are started by the companies, and they cost money to join them. Mm-hmm. Usually between like $8 and $25 US for a membership. But the thing about these is that it's not an all year round thing. You can't just like go on a website and join a fan club at any time. Most groups only open up their fan club membership like once a year. Or, like in the example of Super Junior, in 10 years of having a fan club, they've only opened up membership twice.
What?
Yeah, so it's like exclusive.
But what is the benefit of keeping your fan club closed?
Because I think because when you're in the fan club, you get perks, which I'm going to get into right now, which is maybe why they have to keep the numbers down, because you can't make these kinds of promises to crazy amounts of people. So when you're paying member in a fan club, you are guaranteed priority at music shows. We talked about music shows before and how they...
Priority as far as, like, access to being in the audience?
Yes, because like we talked about on our music shows episode, they will move fan clubs in and out so that they are the ones in the audience when their group is on.
And didn't you say that in order to, like, it's free to see these shows, so it's almost like Southwest, like, waiting in line to board, like, you get to be first in line.
Right. But I don't think it's usually first come, first serve. I think they do them like lottery style. There are only so many seats. But being an official member of a fan club is supposed to get you like higher chances of getting picked for those music show things.
Oh, okay.
You also can get like early tickets for concerts, not guaranteed concert tickets, but like an early chance at getting them. You get a membership card, which is like a big deal, like a real, like
laminated,
yes, like
official.
A real membership card. So like that's, like a point of pride.
Does it have your picture on it?
No, but it's like they're like
ID?
designed very nicely, like a real slick credit card. But
I can picture it in my head. I was just curious if they were like super individualized, so as to be like a Sam's Club member, like it has your picture on the card so that no one else can take it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe some companies like really go for it, and maybe others don't.
Like a Six Flags season pass where does your thumbprint attached to it?
Sure. Yeah. Oh God, amusement parks taking your fingerprints all the time. It's such a weird thing. Okay. So anyway, that's official fan clubs. They're a thing, but like since they are kind of really exclusive, they aren't the main way that I think fans interact. Like it's like a level that you can take it to.
Yeah, and it's certainly not like an information highway. Like because they are official fan sites, the company is truly responsible for them. Right. Or fan clubs, I should say, not fan sites. Because it's an official fan club, the company is the one that's in charge of it. And so they're not necessarily like giving you all the details of that idol's day. They're just like giving you an opportunity. It's really just it's probably season pass
really just to cut in line for stuff, I think. Yeah. And to have that membership card to be like, I'm a diehard. But yeah, I know that
I've carrying member.
Exactly. I know that like in all the time I've been in K-pop that like early in my days, SHINee's fan club opened up membership like at one point. And I feel like it was super expensive. I don't know. Like, I feel like $40 is what my head is remembering. But anyway, and another thing is that some companies also have separate international fan clubs that are different from the Korean ones because, you know, if you're an international fan who's joining a fan club and is not going to be in Korea at any time any soon, like, you're really just in it for the membership card. You're not going to get any of that.
Yeah,
cutting in
you're
line
not going to
stuff.
be the one that's at the music show.
Right. So I think so some companies do have like international branches of their fan clubs and try to like give them perks in their own special ways or whatever. So that's official fan clubs. But another thing that I think have much higher attendance rates or people use them more are fan cafes. And a fan cafe is just basically like the name of like a chat room. Essentially, it's like a chat room. But it's all on this app/website called Daum, Daum.
Okay.
And that's existed since the very late 90s. And it's just like been the place where companies would have an official, here's the official fan cafe, and you join it, and then like popularity was all decided on like whose fan cafe was who had the most members in their fan cafe. And the company will use it to like post selfies or like announce concert tours. And then fans can talk to each other in them. These are free to join. And you can also, a lot of companies use their fan cafe as the place to enter to get music show tickets.
Okay.
They'll run them through there. And an interesting thing about these fan cafes is that there's a level up process. So when you join as a free member, it's like you can enter the raffles and you'll get to see the pictures. But like the more you post and the more you interact, you like level up and you can get access to like exclusive stuff or like, so there's like a
Scientology or a pyramid scheme.
Sure. Yeah.
It'll lure you in to be more and more involved.
Yeah. And one of the things about like the fan clubs that we were talking about before, when you pay to get into a fan club, it automatically levels up your fan cafe account. So you don't have to go, you like get leveled up.
Amazing.
Because you paid.
So would you say that like, so there's the official fan club, right? And then the fan cafe is kind of like the online presence of that fan club?
Yeah.
Like the official place online for this fan club to like go and chat about their group.
I think like this website is pre-Facebook, but I think it's sort of like that. Like having an official Facebook page and you like join it and like that's where you get the stuff and talk to other fans.
Gotcha.
Like, but the thing that's interesting about the Daum fan cafes is that the big three don't participate in them anymore. They haven't for a long time. They run all of their own fan cafe type stuff on their official websites.
Oh, okay.
So that's a fan cafe.
First vocabulary word, fan cafe. Second vocabulary word, fan site. Because like there are fan cafes, those are official. And then on the other side of that coin are fan sites.
Yeah.
Right? Because fan sites are unofficial.
They are unofficial and they are a really big deal. So let's get into what a fan site is. It sounds like it's just like a website for fans, but it's really more meant as it's like a term for, it's not just a website. It's like a person, an incredibly dedicated person or groups of persons, but usually a single person who has an idol that they love. And they're like, okay, I'm going to drop everything, spend all of my money on fancy camera equipment and follow them around the world. And take beautiful pictures of them everywhere that they go, which I know on the surface sounds really, really creepy. Yeah. But I think it is one of the most like interesting things about K-pop that I think fuels this crazy fandom is that you get so much there's so much to see. If you like love an idol, you can see so many more pictures of them than like
it is the access that is granted through these fan sites, I think, is what truly sets them apart, not only from like other fans of other things around the world, but also like from the fan cafes or like official fan club websites, is that like sometimes those fan cafes or the official websites, they don't post that often, or like they're not going to post pictures of that idol like getting off the plane in Hong Kong so that you know they made it there safely or whatever. But this fan site will. Like the fan site will be updated pretty much as often as that idol like steps outside. And that's, I agree. Like I was reading an article about it today, and at the beginning of it, it does seem super crazy because you think about the level of dedication that this person or small group of people need to have to this fan. Like they truly give up their life because like these idols have truly crazy schedules. Yeah. And so then
they're
this is a person
town, crossing the country, the world all day, every day.
And like all hours of the evening. And it's just, they're so busy already. So then you have this like quote unquote normal person who's not an idol or in the music industry or a celebrity in any way and is like following them around, not on the idol's payroll, just like following them around to document everything that they do. And that seems really crazy. But one thing that I find interesting about these fan sites is that one of the reasons that they do it is to sustain the fandom, because this is how, especially for international fans, if you want up-to-date information, or if you want like some way that's going to be that you can access because you're not in Korea, you don't speak Korean, like you can access this fan site and it's just so much more like understandable. And a lot of times it's just pictures.
It's just beautiful pictures with a caption of like where they were and what day it was, which is what I think is one of the greatest things about when I see like a massive like fan site post go up on Tumblr. It'll always be like today or tomorrow because like Korea's ahead. And then you like, you know, it's like, oh, there they are right now. And what you said, like, you feel like, oh, they're safe. They made it, because a lot of fan site pictures are taken at the airport.
True. Most of them are. And so like, there's like a quote from the article I read, which honestly I don't even remember where it was from now, but they said like how, especially at the beginning of these fan sites, it's kind of at the beginning of like the internet. And so a lot of the official websites are not going to post constant photos of their idols, but like these fan sites were able to like turn the airports into runways. And like, so now airport fashion is like a big deal in the K-pop idol scene, like, because you're going to be photographed. The other thing I was going to bring up, so like from the international standpoint, like one reason that these fan sites work to like sustain the fandoms is that they do, and as we'll talk about in a moment, like organize fan projects. But before they do that, they also make it a little bit easier for fans to communicate with each other. Like especially these international fans, like you can go to a fan site and then like be connected with fans from all around the world, like especially as one of the reasons we started this podcast is because like you and I love K-pop, but we don't know that many people like in our day-to-day life that are interested in K-pop. But then you go to these fan sites and you can be connected to people in so many different countries and continents all over the world that are also interested in this thing that you like. And one really cool example of this is that in SHINee's last world tour, SHINee World 5, it was their first world tour where they had North American dates, but they were not going to be selling or providing the official light sticks at the North American shows because they like weren't going to have all their merch, whatever. Right. And so there were like a lot of documented cases where especially Shawols from Japan sent light sticks to the North American fans that were both in the US and in Canada, so that they could have official light sticks at the concert. And they sent them to them for free.
Yeah, that's so lovely.
It like builds a community.
It definitely does. And that is the thing I was going to get into next, which is that the way that these fan sites sustain themselves and sustain the fandom is that they usually take all of these amazing pictures and videos that they are getting all the time, and they make calendars and DVDs and all of this stuff. And then all of the money not only goes to like help the fan site administrator like keep taking pictures, but usually the money just gets turned around for like gifts for that idol. Or fan projects. Like, let's do fan projects first because idol gifts is like a whole
other shebang.
But usually these things are like concert based, and they are to surprise the idols on stage. I know I've seen this in Shiny concerts, like on their concert DVDs, and there was an example we found in an article about this happening for Infinite once, where all the fan sites for like the different members all get together, all pool their money, like we're all going to do this thing, and they get like banners printed out that will say something like lovely and beautiful, and they'll pass them out to everyone secretly outside, and they keep them all under their chairs. And then at like the last song that's usually, you know, like a ballad where everyone's walking around and looking at the crowd, they all like unfurl their banners, like all of them, and then like everyone cries.
Yeah, all the tens of thousands of fans, like suddenly every single one of them has a banner that's like, we'll support you forever, and like the idols are crying and the fans are crying and you at home streaming it illegally is crying.
Yeah, like. everyone's all worked up. And it's really beautiful. Fan projects are very nice, and they often end up surrounding birthdays. Like that is a whole huge thing that happens like all over the place, is like special birthday stuff. And one of the popular birthday things is to use like all of the advertising space that is all over Seoul. I know when I was there, I saw birthday ads on like, you know, the flags they hang from like light poles, the little like vertical banners. Saw a couple of those for like someone in EXO whose birthday it was, like lining a street. And then like big like side of bus ads, the like changing LED ads that are like all over the subway that, you know, like rotate through different things or whatever. And, you know, like a fan club will just like put the picture of their idol and it'll be like, happy birthday, like love your Philippines fans or whatever, or love the Busan chapter of they just like put these they like spend all of their money on like billboards to be like, happy birthday, we love you. And it's really adorable. And it was fun to see them everywhere. Like, look at all the birthdays and all these people who have fans that like love them.
Yeah, and like how fun for an individual. I mean, how fun would that be to just like walk down the street and all of a sudden all the billboards are telling you happy birthday? That's neat.
Yeah, it's super neat. Another like birthday fan project that I remember hearing about, and it caused a little bit of a stink last year, which was on Chanyeol's birthday. One of his fan clubs fan sites got together and like got like a couple hundred balloons or something, and they went out on a bridge and they like sang happy birthday to him, and then they let the balloons go, and everyone was like, hey, why did you choking birds for Chanyeol's birthday?
Bad for the environment.
Yeah, so everybody was like really pissed at them because that is a meaningless gesture and bad for the environment.
Can I talk about the one that I researched, because that's truly like the greatest birthday gift? And something that is
let's get into like some crazy like birthday and otherwise gifts that idols have been gifted either by fan sites or international fan clubs. Like these things come from all over. I know I have participated in a couple of fan projects for a We Got Married couple. I'll get into that another day. But we organized on a forum. Like, so people are organizing all over the place, but idols get the gifts that fans give to their idols is kind of mind blowing to me. And this just might be like another cultural difference. Like, I do not imagine that Justin Bieber's fans are buying him watches. Like, he can buy his own watches, and that doesn't seem like something, I don't know, maybe it does.
I have no idea. I mean, I would assume that like, I think it does happen in the sense that like, celebrities do get gifts because like people know when their birthdays are, but they're from individual people, not from like an organized group of your fans that like raised money collectively, and like maybe that money came from all over the world. Like that I don't think happens.
I guess I just like I would be absolutely blown away by the idea of like a bunch of suburban teenagers pooling money to buy Ariana Grande a Valentino jacket. Like, I
have no idea.
But that happens. That. K-pop fans buy their idols like extravagant luxury gifts, which is so crazy to me. because they're rich people. They should be getting that. They're celebrities. They should be getting that stuff for free.
And there are several examples where, like, I mean, one thing that I think is sweet is that, like, if you organize, for example, like Sehun, the maknae of EXO, like his fans previously have given him like Yves Saint Laurent and like Givenchy, like clothes and stuff like that. And then you can see him wearing it. Like, you know, you pull together and you buy him this expensive jacket, and then the next time he's at the airport, you like see him wearing it. And that's like a very sweet sort of like acknowledgement from the idol to their fans. But and Sehun is an example of this. There are also many idols who today like have come out and said like, please don't give me gifts anymore. Like instead donate to this charity, or like instead of sending me a gift, like please do something kind for a person in your life or whatever. Like they'll sort of, there have been a variety of idols that have sort of made the official announcement of like, hey, I can buy my own Givenchy jacket. Like, why don't you go donate to a charity instead?
But a point that I want to get on really quick before we move on with our list of like crazy fan gifts is that idea of the fan being able to see the idol in the thing. And I think that is the intention behind a lot of fan gifts, and it seems to have always been. So I'm really upset that I don't have this, but I went to a K-pop museum in Jeju-do in Korea, and there was a room that was like about the history of K-pop, and they had this one wall that was like a timeline of like fan gifts throughout the ages. And I swore on my life I took a picture of this wall to remember, because this podcast has like sort of existed as an idea for a very long time. So I've been like gathering research for a very long time, but I couldn't find the picture of this dang wall. But things that I remember from it is in the early days, fans would make origami star jars. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like a thing that I think is like very popular among like adolescents in Asia. Like you make origami stars, like 100 or 1,000 or whatever, and you fill them. And once you fill a jar with it, it's like it grants you a wish.
You like make a wish on it,
or you give it to the person you have a crush on to be like, this is how much I've been thinking about you. I made all of these stars. So early K-pop fans would make origami star jars for their idols to be like, I thought about you while I folded every single one of these. And also a lot of stuffed animal giving. And I know that comes up in Reply 1997. I'm not going to stop talking about this drama. It's important.
So go and watch it.
It's important to the history of K-pop. They cover a lot. But I know there's an episode where they're doing like a tour of HOT's dorm, and Yoonji's character is like waiting to see if the bear she gave Tony is on his bed. And it is. And she like loses her mind. So it's like, and I think that's a thing that continues to this day, like no matter what the gift is, if you ever see any kind of reality show where like an idol is giving a tour of their house, there will be a lot of weird art, like giant portraits of themselves. And you'll be like, why do these people have so many like giant pictures of themselves? Like, and they'll be like,
really big,
my fans
framed.
got me this.
Yeah.
So because like their fans give them things, and then they like have to put them up because their fans like gave it to them, and the fans want to see like it's there, like that thing that we all scrounged our lunch money together and we bought him that thing, and like, look, he kept it.
Yeah.
And it makes people feel nice.
Yeah, I wonder how many idols are like, ugh, now I have to put this fucking thing in my house.
I know. I feel like
if it's a portrait of yourself, like, ugh.
I feel like it makes them feel. I would feel vain if I like woke up and my living room was covered in pictures of me.
Yeah, I definitely, if I was an idol, I wouldn't want those kinds of gifts. I wouldn't want to have like just pictures of myself. Like if you were giving me something to put in my own house, like, I don't know, give me actual art or like a knickknack or a stuffed animal to put in my bed or something. But like,
sure. A new trend in fan gifts that has come into being in the last little while is ordering a food truck.
Or like a coffee cart or something.
I know in the old days, the way that they did this is you would just like order a whole bunch of box lunches or pack a lot of box lunches and then get like stickers printed out that again have a picture of the idol because they have to look at their own faces all the time. And then, a message like love from your whatever fan club. And then you have it delivered to the like music video set or whatever. So like everyone gets fed and it's like, it was from me.
Yeah, you're like feeding the entire cast and crew of whatever it is that they're, whether it's a drama shoot that they're on or a music video or that they're filming, whatever it is, like you as the fans on behalf of this idol, like you want to make the idol look good, so you feed everybody.
Yes. And so the new way that this is being done, I have no confirmation of this, but I believe there are companies that are now only in business to do this.
I would not be surprised.
Where they show up with like a blank food truck that has like coffee and like tteokbokki or like whatever, like some kind of snack and some kind of drink beverage. And then like the space on top of the van where like, and the spaces on side where it might, you might have a menu or the name of the truck. It's like posters of that idol. We love you from your fan club. Enjoy the coffee. But the trucks are blank, and it seems like they just exist to like switch out those posters and be like,
of course, like what a lucrative business that would be. And then like all the fan clubs have to do is like get the posters made, which is truly not that difficult to do. And then just like boom, boom, like done. Yeah. Done and done. Personalized coffee cart. You're welcome.
So that's like a new trend. All right. So I think that covers the most basic of fan gifts. We're getting food, we're getting expensive clothes, we're getting cute memorabilia.
So now let's take it
over what is some crazy stuff that people have been given?
I really only looked up one, and I think it takes the crown.
Go ahead.
It truly does. This, when I read about it, I was like, this is why I love K-pop, because nothing in the world is as magical, like, period, done, end of sentence. Okay, so, Sehun. Sehun.
From
EXO. Of EXO. His birthday is on April 12th. And for his 23rd birthday last year, 2017, the Chinese fan site Warm Wind, they purchased a piece of land in Scotland in Sehun's name specifically for the purpose of giving him the title of Lord. So now he is legally and officially Lord O Sehun, Lord of Glencott Woods, Glencoe. I don't remember. I can't read my writing. I think it says Glencott.
Glencoe, Glencoe.
I couldn't tell if it was an E or a T because my handwriting is shitty. But so he has an estate known as Glencoe Wood. It's in Highland, Scotland. I read the deed of it. It's not very long, but it is very official. And do you know how big the plot of land is?
Is it like 2 feet by 2 feet?
It's 1 square foot.
Okay.
It is 1 square foot of land. He is not allowed to obstruct any roadways that may possibly ever go through the land, but it is legally owned by Lord O Sehun.
That's so fun.
I know. I love it. It like truly is the best. It's so funny.
That's super great. A couple other ones, an NCT Vietnamese fan club bought a star for NCT to commemorate their debut day. And then
is it for all of NCT, or is it just for NCTU or NCT 127 or NCT Dream?
I don't think those things mean it. I don't think those things mean anything.
I'm just
anymore.
Kidding. I'm just making a joke because NCT is such a fucking mess.
If anybody out there has any idea what's going on with NCT, tell us, but
Please
I don't think anyone knows. Okay. Anyway, another thing, like we mentioned earlier, like idols asking for fans to donate to charity or just being charitable people that their fans then want to continue that. I know a trend that started a little while ago. There are these like very specific type of bouquets that are like displayed at Korean events, like at weddings and funerals and openings of musicals or whatever, where it's like you put wreaths on like an art easel, so they like go down and then you hang a big ribbon over it that has writing on it.
Yeah, kind of like those crazy like horseshoe bouquets that you might see at like the Kentucky Derby, or like some enormously elaborate wreath that you see at like a funeral.
Right.
I feel like that's usually where you see like walls of flowers.
Yes. So a trend started a little while ago where if, say, your idol is like starring in a musical now, at the opening night of the musical, the fan club will get, instead of in previous years where they might have bought like 30 of the biggest bouquets to be like, look it, we love you the most, they'll get one bouquet, and then on the sides of the bouquet stack bags of rice, like big sacks of rice, to donate to charity, to be like, look, we got all of this, like, here's your bouquet to say we love you, but like also here's all this stuff we're donating in your name.
Wait, but do they actually deliver the rice to the
Yeah, and they stack it up next to the bouquets. It's part of the display.
So who's responsible for taking that rice
know.
and then giving it to the charity? Because what if it was like, here you go, Idol, now take all this rice to the charity. I'm sure Idol's like, I don't have time for this.
I'm sure the fan clubs are taking care of all of it. It's just the display of it all.
But that's kind.
So then there have been like even bigger charity projects. It's definitely very common to like just donate a lot of rice or to make like a donation to a charity in your idol's name. But for example, for Block B's 4th anniversary, their fans donated a well in Cambodia, and it's called the Block B Well, and it's like a well in a neighborhood. I know that G-Dragon's fans or Big Bang fans have planted multiple like orange groves for him. Like they're very little. It's cute. It's, you know, just like 10-foot spot of land with a bunch of little baby orange trees in it and a sign that's like, these are G-Dragon's orange trees, like from his fans.
It's really cute.
Which is really cute. Let's see, another one. TVXQ, one of the members, his name is Yoonho, or you know, because that's his thing. It's like letter U dash KNOW. And then his real name is YUNHO. So it's like, you know.
Oh, I get it.
But apparently you have to say both. Because remember last year at KCON, we went to that booth to enter that like raffle and buy those little EXO buttons. And that lady was like, and you can enter a drawing to win Yuno's hat. And she said it twice, and I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't know! I didn't know that that's like you have to say it." And I saw an old episode of Running Man with him, and they kept being like, "You know." Like,
that's
anyway,
hilarious.
Okay, that's not the point. The point is that he.
What is the point?
The point is that he loves charity.
You know. Loves charity.
Loves charity.
Did you know that you know loves charity?
But because of how much he loves charity, his fans have built 2 libraries in Korea and one in China, like children's libraries that are like the libraries. And then he went to Ghana for a TV show like that was called Road for Hope, and he did like a TV special like hanging out with little kids in Ghana, and his fans were like, oh my god, like we want him to make a difference there. So they literally built a school, the Education Center in Ghana.
That's so cool. And like that school is beautiful. It's for those of you who can't see it, all of you who can't see it, it's like white with this beautiful blue wooden double doors and like bright blue like trim. It's a really beautiful school. And that's truly incredible. Like to be totally honest, I don't even know who this idol is, but the fact that
he's don't you know him?
I don't know, anyway, I don't know him, but the fact that like his fans raised money to truly make a difference in some small community, whether has been to that community before or not. Like, it doesn't matter if the people in that community have no idea who is.
But they have a school.
They have a school. They have a library. Like, that's, I don't know. I mean, how can you hate it's just making the world a better place. Like, it's so kind. It's just humans, I don't know, being nice in the name of something that they love.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's really cool, like the way that these K-pop fans can get together and like make and get stuff done, like whether that stuff is buying an expensive luxury coat or printing 15,000 banners or building a school in another country.
Yeah,
like,
that takes concentrated, organized effort from like a unified group of people all working together toward one cause. And like whether that cause is as silly as like buying someone a Cartier watch or as impactful as building a school in Ghana, like that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really neat. So K-pop fans are just they can be the best.
Not always, but like in this,
I said can be. They can be.
In this episode, we're talking about the light side. We'll talk about the dark side later on.
We're talking about cool fans, and this is some cool fan shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think to speculate as to like why or how this sort of culture developed, I feel like there are probably social and cultural aspects and contributing factors to it that personally, like, I don't feel I have any place to speculate about because I've never been to Korea. I don't speak the language. Like, I don't know why. Like, the only thing I know about Korea really is K-pop. So I don't want to like theorize really. Like, I don't know anything about it.
Right. I have theories. I can get to them.
Yeah. But I think like just from the like my own personal Western point of view as an international fan, like it just seems fundamentally nice. And I think like that's what draws me to it and what I find so heartwarming about it is that like from the fan perspective, like this is an artist or a group that you are very connected to. Like this person or this group, their music and what they make is important to you. Like as a fan, you can create really significant emotional connections to that person. Cause like you turn to music in a lot of different points in your life, like whether you're having a really great day or you're having a really bad day, like there's something that you put on to listen to like deal with whatever it is that's going on, whether it's happy or sad. And for a lot of us, like that can be a specific artist. And so then you like sort of rely on that person. And so to be able to then turn around and like you want to be able to support that person the way that their music and their art has supported you in a variety of ways. And so to be able to send a thoughtful gift and then like see the idols wearing it or have the idol take a picture of the flowers you sent them on Instagram or whatever, you see it and it's just so personal that like from the little fangirl in me that like would write letters to like whatever people that I loved, whether it was like fine. Whether I like wrote a letter to Christina Aguilera or like NSYNC or I'm not going to lie, I wrote a letter to Daniel Radcliffe once because the little 11-year-old me loved Harry Potter so very much that I wrote him a letter and I never heard back.
I wrote Natalie Portman letters and birthday cards too, and she didn't write me back either.
Right? But. Especially because I feel like I had heard, like, through the grapevine or, like, through the MTV, like, lies, that if you wrote to a fan club or, like, you wrote to like, you were going to get an autographed picture back. And, like, I feel like my, like, 9-year-old self knew that if Christina wrote me back, it was going to be, like, probably not really her. It would be, like, a form letter. But I still wanted the autographed picture. And, like, I got nothing. And so to like know that there's this beautiful fandom where you can.
I think that's another like really important aspect to K-pop fandom that definitely separates it from Western artists, like for sure, which is what the idols are giving back to their fans. Like they spend so much time like on live internet stuff, like talking to people and I feel like
answering live questions and like they do like the V Live app is like it's essentially like an Instagram live like stream where they're just sort of like live on camera and they'll like answer your questions in real time. Or like there's a messaging app called Kakao Talk that is very popular in Korea. And there was actually, I just read the other day, Taemin from SHINee.
He went in when they kicked him out for breaking the rules.
They kicked him out twice because they thought he was lying about being himself.
Well, the first time they kicked him out is because it was a picture-only Kakao Talk. That was the rules. You weren't allowed to type words. So he posted a picture, and then he was like, hey, it's me, and they booted him because no words allowed. Then he went in the second time, and no one believed it was him. But anyway.
Yeah. But so, like, how adorable and fun is that? Like, you can go and you can actually, like...
There's a lot of interacting, which I know is, like, sort of becoming more commonplace in Western celebrity because of the evolution of social media that everyone could be around all the time. But I think like back in the day, like all like K-pop idols were also just very like present. There isn't any of that like, you know, putting on the sunglasses and running past the paparazzi and like, you know, like, don't talk to me. Like, they like have to be there.
I mean, there are, of course, examples in which, like, from the airport or something, like, they just sort of need to be, like, shuffled from one place to the next. But there is, I think, a different kind of concerted effort to, like, step out and, like, say hello. Because, again, a lot of times the people that are taking photographs of them are, like, people for these fan sites. They're not paparazzi. They're, like, fans.
Right. That was I feel like I'm getting all over the place in this episode, but like the fan sites are an interesting thing because I think a lot of them are also given access that like other people don't. Like a lot of idols know who their fan site people are. You can watch fan cams where they find them. They find them as soon as they get on stage. Like there's my guy, and they like make sure that they're acknowledging that camera because they know where the fan site is. And some companies have relationships with their fan sites and give them travel schedules so that they can be around because it's like it's free promotion that they don't have to do, and
it's truly an employee, like a personal assistant that they don't have to pay. Like it's someone that's volunteering to like it's essentially a personal photographer that you don't have to pay.
And I couldn't find the name of it. I tried so hard to find the article because I saw it like 4 months ago and then couldn't find any of the details. But EXO's Kai has a fan site operator who like takes some of the best like K-pop pictures that anyone's ever seen, like stage pictures, like beautiful stage pictures. And people always love when EXO is at like those compilation like Music Bank in Philippines because sometimes other groups get beautiful pictures from Kai's fan site manager because like she'll take pictures of the whole show and they're like the best ones. So they're like really cool. One quick fan site fun fact that I didn't mention before. Jane, a member from Momoland, who we've talked about a couple of times, was outed a couple of weeks ago as being the former fan site operator for an Infinite fan site. Which is super adorable. Like, I also read somewhere that a good chunk of fan site operators end up being like expats or Koreans or students at Korean universities.
Oh yeah, I read that too.
Because they got like passports and like nowhere to be,
travel,
so they'll go around and like do all of that stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's all that I like wanted to cover on this like deeper level of fandom stuff. But I did want to take a minute at the request of one of our listeners. We love our listeners. It's so great that so many of y'all have been like reaching out to us. So our listener, DJ Peter Lowe, who is also on a K-pop podcast called the K-pop Cast, he sent us a message and asked if we had any thoughts about how we might posture that this very specific version of fandom that has like come from K-pop, if we have any ideas of where it came from. And I don't know any of this for sure. I feel like if any research has been done, if anybody's written any papers, they've been in Korean and I probably won't be able to read them. So this is just pure speculation about things that I do know, like in an analyzing pop culture and how it works kind of way. So here are a couple of my theories as to why K-pop fandom is as intense and specific as it is. I think one of the first reasons would be that South Korea was one of the like earliest adopters of the internet. The government made it a priority that like they should have super fast internet and everyone should have it. So like
what a concept.
Yeah. So like in I can pretty much guarantee we did not have internet in my house in 1996. Like,
oh, we did not. 1996. Oh, no, for sure. I remember getting our first computer in 1998.
Okay. Yeah, but at the beginning of these, like, of HOT, Sex Geese, all of this, like, modern Generation 1 K-pop, the internet was everywhere in South Korea. If you didn't have a computer in your house, they have these things called PCbangs, which is like just like a computer cafe where mostly people play video games, but you could definitely get on a chat room.
It's essentially just like a room filled with cubicles that have computers in them,
you just rent one and eat snacks.
You like rent by the hour. to use the computer. And it's not specifically to play games. It's just to use the computer however you want to use the computer.
Right. So I think as K-pop, like in these days that K-pop was like coming to be, there was internet. So there was a way for fans to connect with each other and get as organized as they were. Because it didn't take as much, it takes like minimal effort. The second reason I think also comes from the size of the country.
That's what I was going to say.
You can drive across the whole thing in 5 hours. So,
what?
Yeah, it's smaller than Ohio. It's not very big.
Wow. So Shannon and I both grew up I'm originally from Texas, but Shannon and I both grew up there. So like the idea that like it takes you 5 hours, I'm from Austin, it takes you 5 hours just to get to Dallas. So like the idea that
driving across Texas is like 9 hours. So if you could drive
depending
across,
on which way.
Yeah.
I mean, certain ways it takes like 14 hours to get all the way across.
Right. So wherein if you were like say a teenager in Ohio at the height of NSYNC time, and NSYNC is going to be playing on The Tonight Show, it is hundreds of thousands of dollars and so much time to try to get you to The Tonight Show. However, Korean teenagers could just pool their bus money together and get to Seoul and like get to go see these things. Like it isn't that far away.
I truly just heard my like tween fangirl heart like shatter like glass and just like tinkle down into the bottom of my soul. The idea of like how easy it would have been to see anyone I ever could have wanted.
Right. Yeah. So I think that
I'm so sad now.
So I think that access created a really specific fan culture that then started spreading all over the world, which I don't think that they thought that it would.
Sure.
Another
but the beauty of the internet,
right?
Global.
Another thing I think that contributed to it a lot is just that the first groups out of the gate started a massive fan war. So I think in a pure like capitalism stance, because it was a thing back in those days that like they have these things in Korea that they call stationery stores, and they just have like pencils and pens and candy and like cheap toys. It's like a store it's like where kids go after school and like spend the lunch money they didn't spend or whatever. Yeah. And so the stationery stores started carrying like HOT 3-ring binders and HOT pencils and Sex Keys rulers or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they would sell out of them. And I think this the fan war of it all and wanting to be like, I'm on this team was making everybody a lot of money. So I think the companies had stake in continuing the tribalism of this all, of being like, these are elves and like you're an army. Like if you put
it's all the merch. Like get your One Direction backpack and your Harry binder and like your Nile pencil bag.
Right.
These are examples from when I like from students of mine from years past. Like that shit doesn't really happen anymore. Like nowadays none of my kids have anything remotely related to like an artist of any kind. But like 4 years ago when I was still teaching 5th grade, like their One Direction was really big, and almost every girl had at least one piece of merchandise that had to do with their favorite One Direction, like whether it was a backpack or a spiral or a pencil bag, like they had something. And now, I mean, it's probably just because like we don't really have that many popular boy bands today, but
because but like cynical
teens,
capitalism, like teens buy things.
Josie and the Pussycats, teens are the ones that have the expendable income, right? Like they don't pay taxes, they don't have to pay rent, like they babysit, they mow lawns, they got cash.
Right. So I think that's the other like final point as to like why I think K-pop fandom is so crazy, and any kind of fandom like this tends to be crazy, is that like the passion of an adolescent girl is unrivaled.
Oh,
like
100%.
And I think that like people shit on tween girls a lot as like being frivolous and dumb, but they like shake up society. Like what they care about matters, even though people dismiss it as dumb. Like this whole enormous like machine that exists now of K-pop like started because there were like middle school girls who were like, I like this group, and the other ones being like, I like this group, and it just turned into this
organized, and they got together and they opened a fucking school in Ghana in dedication of their teen crush.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me that tween girls can't change the world? They already have, motherfucker.
Yeah. So Peter, that's my like some posturing. I can't confirm any of this, but these are some theories I have as to why it might be so different.
The beauty of K-pop fandom came from the beauty of tween girls.
Yeah, that's what I think. And then just the tiny like cultural differences and the small country and the access to the internet, I think.
And as everything else, capitalism.
And capitalism, selling stuff makes everybody.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so that was part 2 of our fandom episode. Part 2, and we will be right back.
Fandom 102.
Fandom 102. We will be right back with our K-pop random game. All right, we're back. This week we have a group that it took us a while to figure out how to pronounce, but we're going to say it right. It's
Between.
Between.
It is spelled like beat, win,
Or
2
be
words.
a twin.
No, it's not spelled like that. It's not 4 separate words. 3 separate. Be a twin. Those would be 3 words. It's 2 words. Beat, B-E-A-T, space, win, W-I-N.
No space. It's 1.
No, oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
It's between.
Beat win. But it's pronounced between. So when did they debut?
2014.
Okay, but this seems to present, still currently active, but seems to be a bit of a troublesome group in the sense that they're from a small company, and originally it seems they started with anywhere from like 5 to 7 members.
Yeah.
They have 5 former members. They have currently still 2 members. They've released 2 EPs called Insatiable and Come to Me.
And their fans are called Trophy.
Yeah.
We talked about that last week.
So they do have a fan name, a fan club name. And since we discussed fan cafes today, we can explain what's up with their current members.
Yeah, it said, an article we found said that in December of 2017, it was announced on their fan cafe that 2 members had left. And shortly after that, another one said, I'm leaving the company and I'm joining the unit, that sad reality show that we mentioned. And it seems he has already been voted off of voted off early.
2 of the members. So like the fan cafe announced that 2 of the members were leaving. 1 of them went onto the unit, has already been eliminated. Then a 3rd member said that he's also going on the unit, and he's still on the unit.
He is still on the unit?
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
Unless I misinterpreted that.
This article is 3 months old, though, so...
Oh, so he might not be on the unit
not have made
anymore. But he was at the time. So anyway, Perhaps they started with 7. They did have 5 as of December, and now they only have 2.
Yeah. And it looks like one of the members who left also joined the group, is now in the group Top Dog.
Which I think has significantly more success than Between.
I've at least heard of them, and their company's a little bigger, so.
I don't think I have any of their songs, but I at least know who they are.
Yeah, so I don't know much. There's not much to say about Between other than it's fun. I feel like this game is fun because we find out the extreme opposites of K-pop, of like the groups that are crazy successful and ones that just struggle all their existence.
But so their most viewed on YouTube is a music video called Rising Sun. It is not from either one of their EPs. It's actually a fairly new single released on December 9th of 2017. So this one does have all 5 of the former members. And currently this group only has 2. So if they've released new music with just the 2 members, it doesn't appear that they have. Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. Well, let's watch this video. Rising Sun. Here we go.
Is that a man singing?
I think so. It's a man group.
I know, but that voice is... We did not look up the ages of this group.
No. I could tab over, but we'll miss some music video. But they're just walking really slowly down like slow-mo down an alley. It's a...
Oh, no!
Oh, my God.
a mullet.
I need
shit.
everybody who's listening to this to pause the podcast right now. I know you probably don't usually watch these videos along with us. I need
But
you
for
to
the
see
love
what is
of
happening
God,
right now.
You need to look this up right now. Oh, that poor
my
baby
God.
looks like he has a dead raccoon on his head. That hair is so fried.
so frizzy.
And this dude doesn't fit in at all with his slicked hair. He looks like 10 years older than all of them.
Oh no. I wonder if this is trying to be like a very styled, like if they're trying to do the 80s or something, but I don't know that it's working.
It is not working for me, I have to say. I also feel like these looks are very severe for such a soft song.
Yes. Like this is like a nice sweet song and they're like sulking in slow-mo down an alley like they're looking to fight someone.
Yeah, they look like the Jets, like
Yes.
looking for the Sharks. Ready to cut someone.
Yeah, I wouldn't like they look like they will all have knives.
Especially the one with the dragon jacket or tiger jacket.
That's one of those
Okay,
really
they're all in their 20s.
Okay. Do you think that's real or do you think those are bad extensions? Just guessing. They look like
I don't
bad
know.
extensions to me, but I don't know.
It could be either, truly. It's hard to tell.
I wonder if they dance.
I don't think
Like
they're going
nothing
to.
is
They're
they are
literally
truly
just
just
walking
walking
down
Is
the-
that it? Did you see that guy's giant
Oh
pants?
my god. Oh,
They're like giant skirty. Oh, key change. And now they're screaming. This music truly does not fit the visuals
what?
of this
He looks
at
so dirty.
all.
He's like distressedly taking his jacket off.
Are they
Oh, man.
Are they possessed? Is that guy doing cocaine off of his fingers?
No,
Why
but
does
he
keep
keeps
doing
like
that?
licking his lips.
Yes,
like,
and putting his
he keeps,
fingers
like,
up to his
wiping
nose
his
like
mouth.
he's been doing cocaine.
Like he's like,
Tough and he's getting in a fight.
I'm sorry, but these guys look like tools. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, they
Why
are
are
gonna
you fighting your own members?
Now they're fighting each other.
Yeah, those look like bad extensions. Yeah, for sure. Man, this is a little
This is
painful.
depressing. And it's the same alley. Like they didn't even go anywhere else.
No, they walked really slowly down this.
I think
just one
this
alley.
is a symptom of, tiny companies who don't have any money.
Man in red turtleneck should really like go back to work
Wow.
because he doesn't fit in with this street gang at all.
Well, that was between.
That was a bummer.
Yeah.
Between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. Well, I hope that they all find success and happiness somewhere, but I totally can
won't
see
be
why
in
this.
that alley.
Yeah, I think I can see why this didn't work out.
Yeah,
Oof, that was a bummer.
that was too bad.
Yikes.
But you know what? We can't all be winners.
No, that's
even
true.
if we have win in our name.
Yeah. Between.
Maybe if you pronounced it the way that it was spelled,
Right. Then like it is. Yeah, that's why
you
I
wouldn't be in such dire straits.
Between.
Between.
Okay. Anyway, so that's between. There we go.
That bummed me out.
I'm sorry. Do you have, well, in a happier note, do you have a recommendation for this week? Would that make you feel
I have to
better?
reach across the table to get my notebook. No, you go first.
Okay. So my recommendation this week is going to be a nice and current one. Our gals Mamamoo came back this week, and they have a new song and music video and album out, and the single is called Starry Night. And the music video has like really incredible visuals that I'm all about. Everybody's wearing like denim and fringy leather and like Native American jewelry and like patterned shirts and cutoff shorts and boots. And they look like, like Southwest Coachella. But then there's also like, it looks like they're on another planet, like they're on a cool beach and the moon is way too big, like in, that kind of way. So the visuals are really great. And the song is like kind of chill. I really enjoy it. So that's my recommendation, Mamamoo Starry Night.
I will stick with a current recommendation, current-ish, I guess. Yours is definitely more current than mine. But recently, this week, I purchased BoA's new album, which is called One Shot, Two Shot. BoA is spelled B-O-A with the B and the A both being capitalized. This is a 2018 album, so it is like fairly recent. The album itself is called One Shot, Two Shot. But my favorite song off of the album is called Recollection. I don't believe that it has a music video or a performance of it because it's not one of the lead singles off of the album. Three of the songs on the album, One Shot, Two Shot, Nega Dola, and Camo, all have music videos. They're all great. I do love all of those songs. But personally, my favorite song is called Recollection. And so that's my recommendation. I really enjoyed the whole album, but that song in particular is my favorite.
Awesome. That's great. Those are good recommendations. Cool beans. Well, thanks for sticking around to hear. As always, guys, y'all are the best. If you want to send us a message or follow us on social media, which lots of you do, and it's so nice, you can find us at AMA K-Pop Pod on Twitter, on Instagram, our Tumblr page where we put all the links for every episode so that you don't have to go looking for all this stuff we talk about, amakpoppod.tumblr.com. And if you have more to say that won't fit in a tiny social media reply box, you can send us an email, amakpoppod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, don't forget to send us your biases. We're still trying to make a list.
We've got a pretty good collection of biases. I think we're going to be able to do the episode soon. So if you want to tell us about who you love the most and why, send it now so that we can get you in for that episode. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in as always. Y'all are the best.
Bye.
Chongyun, your inspiration.